playoffs and everything else. But your assessment right now, looking at the halfway point, and then we're going to talk about the difficulties of sizing up your opponents in the playoffs, the way that everything's set now.
Well, one more week of non-league play, right? It gives everybody a chance to take a look at their team. Coaches, every coach I've talked to the last couple of weeks, what's the one thing they're telling me? I just want to see my team get better and better week by week. Almost to a man, right? That's what they're saying. Just want to see my team getting better and better week to week. Okay, so where do you feel like you are, Coach? That's my first question. Any coach right now, where do you feel like your guys are right now with 1 week to go until you get in league play? And I think league play is going to be very interesting this year because we've got so many new leagues. All these new leagues we're talking about. These guys are in the IOTA League. You ever heard of the IOTA League?
No.
Well, you're about to hear about the IOTA League.
I haven't heard one iota about the IOTA League.
Right,
Bob,
exactly.
So,
The Omicron League. I don't know why we named it the Omicron League because that was a word that wasn't too good a year ago or so. Anyway, lots of new leagues out there. We're going to talk about them, and I think it's going to be fun to see which schools are really fighting for these league titles. I think a league title really means a lot to a school like Troy and some a lot of neighborhood schools. It means a lot to win a league title still, I think.
Well, I think everybody wants to win a league title.
Sure.
I think you set out wanting that. So, it's going to be interesting to see how it meets out afterward because winning a league title, does it really mean anything now when, like, for instance, the Gateway League last year, there's, 6 teams in that league, and pretty much everybody played in a different division. So It didn't matter where you finished. You still pretty much got in, except maybe 1 or 2 schools didn't because they didn't have winning records. But it doesn't matter. Everybody's just splintering off. So as you're playing, you really don't know who your competition may be as you go along. Everybody looks ahead. Players look ahead, coaches look ahead. They deny it. They say it's week to week, but it's not. Everybody looks ahead.
Yeah, I think it helps for playoff pairings. Maybe you get a chance to get a better spot in the playoffs, but you got to win them all, right? In football, you got to win week.
Got to win the last game.
You got to win the last game. There's only one team that's going to win that last game, right? Yep. And we know that. And I don't think it's hey, we're just happy to be in the playoffs, right? I think schools that get there now, you got to win, right? You want to win if you're in the playoffs, and if you get an early round exit, it's really a disappointment. There's no more. Hey, we were just glad to be here. No. There's too many good schools now. I think that's the one thing you're seeing. Parity.
Yep.
Lots of good football being played now across the board, and a lot of these schools, Troy's included in that, they say, hey, we're going to go win a CIF title, and they've got a right to say that at this point.
Yeah, it's just weird not having a freeway league anymore.
Right?
No, seriously.
No, you're right.
And here's the irony of all that. Nobody lived by a freeway. Everybody was inland, man.
Right.
The harbor's about as far away from any freeway as you could get. And Sunny Hills isn't quite as bad, but yeah, it is. It is. Nobody's near a freeway in that league.
The old freeway league. Love that.
No, not even Sonora's wasn't in. No, and they call it the freeway league. I don't know how they got that, but they did. All right, Bob, one of the biggest surprises to me, first of all, Southern California has exploded, just exploded. You have 5 teams in the nation right now that are in the top 10, and they all come from Southern California. And it's not everybody in the Trinity League, which is amazing when you think about it. Mater Dei, of course, is at the top.
Right.
You got Bosco, Bosco's in there. And, of course, I was surprised to see how far Mission Viejo has risen. What is up with Mission Viejo, Bob?
Mission Viejo with the big win over Santa Margarita, and the Santa Margarita had a big win over Corona Centennial, right? So when that happened in the first 2 weeks, you go, what do we make of all this, right? Mission Viejo is a really good football program. I think they've taken over now. For a long time, we said, hey, Corona Centennial is the best public school program. I think Mission Viejo has now taken that mantle. I really do. And I think we can pretty comfortably say that at this point. It doesn't take anything away from Centennial, but it just shows you Mission Viejo, year in and year out, man, they really put a good football program out there. And for a public school program in South Orange County to be able to do that, I think it really says something because you have Tesoro, and you still have El Toro out there, and Capo Valley, and some of these other really big schools that pull the kids in. But for Mission Viejo to be able to get a lot of those kids, not to mention the Santa Margaritas and the J. Sarahs down there, the private schools. A lot of schools fighting for those kids down there. Mission Viejo is still doing it year in and year out. Chad Johnson doing a heck of a job down there as the head coach, right?
Yep. Corona Centennial, they did lose a couple games, but remember, their 5-star quarterback has not played. He didn't play the first 2 games, and you're playing Mater Dei to begin with, to start with, and then you got Santa Margarita. They don't play a weak schedule. They play a Division I schedule, So, we'll see what happens down the road if he comes back. If he comes back and Longstreet can play, things may change real quick for Centennial. And don't forget, they're going to get in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure. They're going to win their league.
In the playoffs.
They're going to win their league because they always do. They're still the best team in the league, so they're going to win that league, and they're going to get the playoffs that way. And they're going to get I'm pretty sure they'll still get in the open division, right? I'm pretty sure they'll still get a bid in there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they'll get moved down. If they got moved down, it would be all over, right? That would be a wash, because anytime you see one of those Trinity League schools or one of those big power schools move down a division, it's usually lights out for the rest of the division.
Yeah,
so
no matter who it is.
You got to keep those big boys all together in that open division.
Yeah, really. So, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit later on with Steve Calhoun, who has his finger on the pulse of everything around here about what's going on at Mission Viejo, because we haven't seen a public school rise to this level in a long time. You look at the top 10 in the country, Saint this, Saint that, Saint this, Saint that. You know, it's never Mr. Public School, and to have Mission Viejo rise, we'll see. I mean, the playoffs got to play. It's coming.
You got to play them out in Southern California. This is the hottest bed, right? The hottest bed of football right here. It's a crazy bracket when you think about all the great teams that are going to be in there at the end. It boggles the mind to think how many top teams nationally are right here in Southern California.
A ton.
A ton is right. It is right.
And we talked about the Trinity League last week. Just it's the best league out there.
Yeah.
It just
Without a
is.
doubt.
But there's a lot of good leagues and a lot of good stuff going on. Down in the lower divisions as well. We're just looking at the top of the cream of the crop right now in SoCal, because basically they're showing up in the top 10 in everybody's poll right now.
Well, you look at these Division 5, Division 6, when you get to those playoff pairings, and we'll get to those eventually. Those are so much fun too, because as you said, it's so close, right? And I said it just a couple of minutes ago. There's so much parity, right? And then that's really what makes it. Man, there's such a razor-thin margin between a lot of these schools when they get to the postseason.
All right, John Conte, you ready?
Yeah.
He's sliding back over there.
Look at him in there.
Let's go over and see what John's up to.
I'm waiting for the sponsors. All right, here we go. Love talking about these sponsors. They make the show go. Suzuki, motorcycles and ATVs engineered for the unexpected. Thank you to our good friend, Mark Brown. We appreciate their support. The Water Heater Warehouse. Check them out at waterheaterwarehouse.com. Your emergency is their priority. And let's not forget about Rheem, the largest manufacturer of water and heating products in North America. They are the new degree of comfort. And let's not forget Lighthouse Escrow, where white glove service is the way they do business, serving realtors throughout California. And Coastal Capital Funding. With Coastal Capital Funding, you're almost home. Visit them at gocoastalcapital.com. NMLS 962070. And Colossal Tax Service. For all of your tax and accounting needs, visit my man Ruben at colossaltaxservice.com. And Pelican Sky Candle Company, the newest sponsor to Prep Sports Media. Man, this is going to be great. Life's a Beach, light a candle, and of course, Rock and Brews. We couldn't do this without Rock and Brews. And we just can't do anything without our sponsors. We are so grateful. Please don't forget to follow us on social media. All of our socials are on the screen. Give us a subscription, give us a like, and we appreciate your support. And hey, talking about all these great sponsors, I am joined right now by our newest sponsor to Prep Sports Media, Tamara Johnson from the Pelican Sky Candle Company. Tamara, how are you this evening?
I'm great, thank you.
We really appreciate your support. And what do you think of this event for all these high schoolers?
This is absolutely fantastic. I'm a mom of a football player, and I love this support. It's great.
And you were also an athlete yourself. I understand you went to Milliken High School.
Go Rams!
And what sport did you play?
I was a softball player.
That's amazing. Well, just so you know, on October 11th, Prep Sports Media is going to be carrying the game of the week, the Milliken Rams against Long Beach Poly. So we hope you're there to come out and support your school. And so, Tamara, let's talk about these candles. So these are all natural candles. Is that correct?
All natural, soy wax based, burn clean. They're good for you and your animals.
And I got to say, Tamara's quite the surfer, and a lot of these have kind of a surfer sort of vibe. What is this one called?
This one is Island Vibes.
This one's Island Vibes. Listen, if you're here in the studio audience, please check Tamara out. She's in the corner. Proceeds of her candles are going back to Prep Sports Media. Again, we cannot do this stuff without our generous sponsors like Tamara. Check out her website, pelicanskycandlecompany.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
There you go. Tamara, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you back many times.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, there you go. Grab a candle. Life's a beach. Light a candle. All right, let's go back to the desk with Rich.
Thank you, John. Very good. All right, we're here with Michael Chavez, and he is the head coach over at Troy High School. And Coach, thanks for coming in tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Always good having you guys in. You know, I always kid you about how smart your team is.
Yeah.
So it makes your job easier, but then again, it makes your job harder because I'm sure they come with elaborate ways to get out of practice, or I'm sure the pranks are on a different level than most schools.
Yeah. We've heard it all at Troy. From I got too much homework to, elaborate. A dog ate my homework. Schemes. It gets pretty intense.
Yeah, I bet it is, man. Coach, I've been talking to a lot of coaches about the league realignments.
Yeah.
And it's really unbelievable that the freeway league doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
A league where no school is near a freeway.
Yeah.
But it's just really odd. And now you moved out, Iota.
Yep.
And I understand you're with Sonora, the only one that went with you. Talk about the change and what that means and how you view it, because everybody views it differently now.
Yeah, so I grew up in the city of Fullerton, and I remember going to games as an 8th grader, Freeway League games, and watching those opponents play, Buena Park, Sonora, Sunny Hills, Fullerton, Troy, La Habra, and seeing those games as a young man was, invigorating for me. I loved it. And, then playing in the league was something special for me almost 22 years ago. And now, coaching in it for the last 8 years and then to see it disbanded, it's definitely a surreal moment. But I can say that we're definitely keeping some of those rivalries alive. We played Fullerton and we played Sunny Hills already. They are our city rivals, so they're both in the city of Fullerton, and we beat them. Fortunately, I think we beat Sunny Hills, I want to say 38-13, and then Fullerton, I think we beat 33-13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and we still face Sonora, so we're still excited about that matchup that we have in a couple weeks. But yeah, definitely missing the Freeway League, but also excited about the future.
I think it's imperative that most schools that have that big rivalry, even though they've left the league, they've been reassigned, keep those rivalries, because number one, those guys are going to play you tougher than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you're going to go out there and pick a fight with those guys early, because you better be ready early on, because they're going to bring their best game because you're the hated rival.
Absolutely.
I think that's great, but expanding into, I know coaches always say, I don't look past next week. Now that's true in a lot of cases, but it would drive me wild not knowing who is going to be in my conference, because I plan on being in the playoffs. I'd like to have an idea of who I'm going to be there with.
Yeah, I think that's changed a lot. I mean, even as recent as the last 6-8 years. I remember again, in the early 2010s, you would look at your division and you could analyze and say, okay, what do we got to do to beat some of these teams that are in our division? Knowing that we want to make the playoffs and then make a deep run, and you can kind of prepare. But now you have no idea, so it's definitely changed your mindset. We used to kind of go into it like, hey, let's focus on winning a CF championship because we know who we can play. Now it's, hey, let's just get ourselves to the playoffs and then really see who we're playing, and let's play our best football that week is kind of the mentality now.
Well, Coach, I got to tell you, since you've been there, your program's really upgraded. You would never think that I'm going to go look at Troy first to go find me some D1 players, but you have some D1 players this year. Talk about those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely got one of our most lauded recruits, Vander Plug. He's big tight end for us, wide receiver, and he has multiple Power 5 offers. And it was kind of crazy. It started off when he was just a young sophomore, and we had a coach walk into the weight room and saw his stature, and I was singing his praises, talking about how good of a player he was, and next thing you know, he gets offered. And then really it just kind of becomes a frenzy from there, not only because of, what God has blessed him with in regards to his size, but also his athleticism and his work ethic and his character has really drawn a lot of attention. We also, I believe, have some other Division I football players that are just flying under the radar right now, but we hope throughout the season that we get them the recognition that they deserve and get them out as well, and a plethora of other good D2 and D3 football players.
In terms of Vander Plug, I'm surprised you kept that kid in your program. I mean, that guy has it all.
Yeah.
And the one thing he has the most that I've noticed about him is he has the right attitude. Once he may be a nice kid off it, but once he steps on the field, man, he's aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there. He's there, and That's what you really need to get to the next level. Plus, he
Yeah.
has the tools already. You can't teach height. You can't teach those things, and he has them right now.
Absolutely, yeah. And his character is really a testament to, again, why he's stayed at Troy. He wants to finish this out with his brothers and wants to see Troy football, make a name for itself. And we're super excited and blessed to work with him.
All right, let's talk about your team this year. How would you describe your team?
Man, they are, I think multifaceted is one word that comes to mind, just because there's so many amazing young men that we have. We have 32 seniors on our team, and each one has such a unique skill set that they bring to the table that really the biggest challenge for them has been to understand the Ubuntu mentality, which is the I am because we are, and really pouring yourself into the team in order to become your best version.
Right.
And these guys are starting to do that, and we're starting to use all these different tools in our toolbox to beat opponents, and it's exciting to watch.
Yeah, Nicola says this team's tight. We're good
Yeah.
together. I mean, they actually like each other. They root for each other. So,
Yep.
That's something special. You want to win a championship, you got to have that mentality. You got to have that cohesiveness within your group if you want to succeed. Coach, who's over there with John Conti right now?
We got Caleb Kiris over there.
What about him? Tell us about him.
He's a great young man. So a 4-year player for us, a 2-year starter for us, and we have this mantra, built not born, in our program, and he's a guy that has worked his tail off to become a very, very, very good football player, and we're excited to see what the future holds for him.
All right, let's go over to Elwood Brown. Elwood.
Yes, sir, Rich. Thank you for looking over here to see that I'm not John Conti, but that's all right. Here I have Caleb Q. Caleb, man, every year I see you develop. What has Troy program did for you?
It's taught me a lot about being not only the best football player that I can be, but also being the best person I could be. It's done a lot for me, just teaching me life lessons all around, and I'm really proud that I stayed with this program and that I was able to be coached under Coach Chavez.
Man, I tell you, I know you're a former basketball player. You like to dip and dab in a little soccer. What is your goal for your program this year? What would you like to see happen?
For team goals, I think our big three would be, first we won city champs, and then our next big goal would be to win league, and then eventually or hopefully to win CIF champions.
Okay. I did my homework with you, son. I spoke to a couple of your coaches. They say you're a leader. They say you're passionate, you're smart. Those attributes that you bring to the game, what helps you to relate to your teammates?
I think being a leader and being the captain of the team, it brings a lot of responsibility for me, and knowing, going up to teammates after a play, even if whether they did good or bad, just picking them up no matter what is a big thing for me.
Man, that's positive. I tell you what, son, you keep up the good work, and life is way ahead of you, man. You're having fun with the game. Whatever you decide to do moving forward, you're going to be great at. I got one question. Everybody from Troy, they at least got a 3.5, 4.5 GPA. What is your GPA, son?
3.85.
Hello, Hey, 3.85, baby. Thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Rich.
Thanks a lot, Elwood. Coach, 3.85 GPA, huh? Everybody's got those high GPAs there.
Oh, yeah.
I was astounded. My son went to Sunny Hills, and the freshman year was on the varsity basketball team, and I opened it up and I looked in the center, and it said, "Congratulations to our students who did well on the SAT." Now these are just sports athletes. There was 40 kids on there with a perfect score.
Jeez.
And I'm sure you have more than that, but I'm just talking in the athletic programs. They had 40 kids that they had in the middle of that program. So, cerebral schools are a lot of fun because the teaching's easy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We, as a teacher, you can't have any better job than being at Troy High School. Literally, there's no better teaching job in America than at Troy High School, and so I love it. In regards to academics, our team overall GPA, I think it was a 3.29. So we're looking at a solid B+ average. We got amazing kids, and they're definitely easy to teach and to coach.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe guys are getting perfect scores, and it's like nothing.
Yep.
it's just perfect for him.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Elwood, it looks like he's getting ready for a couple more kids. Who are we looking at over there, Coach? Who's the kid with the hat on?
That is Kaysen Sabala.
Okay.
So again, Kaysen's a 4-year player for us. Been in the program. He's moved around quite a bit. So he was a lineman, offensive lineman, I believe, the first 3 years of his career, and made the switch to wingback, which is a very big blocking back in our offense, and just done a phenomenal job for us. Loves the program, loves to put in phenomenal attitude and effort, and we appreciate having him being a part of it.
Everybody obviously over there works hard because your team is solid right now, and even that Foothill game, 42-41. Foothill's pretty good. They've always been good.
Yep.
You know, they had the same coach there for 41 years or thereabouts. So,
Yep.
You know, it's pretty neat to see that show because I watched it. It was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
just amazing. All right, all set, Elwood? All right, well, hold on a minute. Who's the big guy with the mustache and the beard? Looks like Grizzly Adams over there.
That's Tomi Inoue.
Okay, all right.
That is Big Tomi.
Yeah, he looks big. All right, Elwood, take it away.
Thank you, Rich. Man, I'm glad the head coach helped me pronounce your last name, Tommy. But I'm going to start with my man Jason here. Jason, Kaysen. I'm sorry, Kaysen. What do you like about the Troy program?
I like how it's really built me as a person. I started off as a freshman really just like, I guess not focused on my life, but football has really developed me as a person, as a player, on and off the field.
Okay, beautiful. Tommy, man, I watch you on film, son. You look like a man amongst boys. What gives you the drive to play at Troy?
I mean, I would just have to say, you know, I love playing with my teammates and, of course, winning. So that's pretty much it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with playing with your teammates and winning. Tell me something. What is your goal, Mr. Tommy, for next year?
I'm a senior this year.
What is your goal for next year? Talk to me.
I mean, I don't know if I want to play college football yet, but if I do, I'm a ball out, so either way.
Hey, well, you have time, son. Take your time. Kaysen, back to you. I understand you like broadcasting. That's one of the reasons why I brought you up here. So moving forward, do you think you're going to be able to land a broadcasting job?
I mean, that's kind of the hope right now. Yeah, I really like the whole broadcast, like being behind the camera, being in front of the camera. So, yeah, that's the hope.
Last question. Either you guys can answer this one. What is your goal? What do you want to see for your team for this upcoming season? Start with you, Mr. Captain.
I mean, obviously we want to win, so it's ring season.
So tell me something. You know, your numbers are good, okay? What do you have to do to make sure y'all fulfill your goals?
Just keep working as a team. You know, I feel like that's something that kind of separates people, like focusing on yourself. So if we work as a team, I think.
Beautiful. Hey, teamwork make the dream work. Well, thank you guys for coming up. Back to you, Rich.
All right, thanks a lot, Elwood. Got some colorful guys over there, man.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine what goes on after practice, especially in that locker room. Everybody yelling, screaming, you know, getting on one another.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Like I said, looks like you guys do have good camaraderie. These guys were all ready.
Yeah.
All ready to jump on these guys. All right, coming up pretty soon, I want to talk about the Vanderblock, though, once again, because I don't know if there's been a wide receiver in your league. I'm talking the Freeway League. I'm trying to go back in my memory, trying to find, man, some of the great receivers in that league, but I don't think anybody's matched this kid.
Yeah, the nearest.
Yeah, you got to think. You got to go way back.
You know what? Nearest Power 5 recruit, I think we had some at Buena Park, like Jalen Hawkins, who's in the NFL now.
Yeah, okay. Well,
maybe another one.
Yeah.
But Vander, no, he's definitely one of a kind, and we don't see many 6'6" wide receivers out there.
Now, as far as what's going on with him right now, is anybody looking at him? There's got to be schools looking at him.
Yeah, so he is he's committed to Washington, University of Washington.
Okay.
And you know, with that, there was a long courting process with several big-time universities, and he settled on University of Washington. Very happy and very excited about that decision, and so it's been a very colorful process for him, to say the least. You know, it's a big decision for him.
Did he enjoy his time visiting schools?
Absolutely, that was one of the things that he and his family really took advantage of, was going and visiting all these crazy universities and cities and seeing what they had to offer. And as he did so, he was really patient in his commitment and his choice. And after seeing it all, he decided on University of Washington. So
why am I not surprised he took his time and thought about it?
Yep, right. Troy students.
Somebody at Troy would actually do that. So Bob Gibson standing with Vanderplug now. Let's just go over there now. We've heard enough about it. Bob, you ready? Let's go.
You ready? We're ready over here. We're ready. We got the big guy right here, Vanderplug, team captain. Pan up a little bit, would you? 6'6"?
6'6", yes, sir.
6'6", right? So they're growing big at Troy, right? You're a team captain. What does it mean to you to be a team captain and a leader? When coach tells you, hey, I need you to be a leader, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot being able to have guys that we got a bunch of good guys, so we don't really have to, as leaders, do too much. I mean, everybody knows their job, and so just kind of being able to stick together as a team for sure.
Is that fun, too? Because obviously in the classroom, so 3.5 GPA, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's important, right? I mean, it's expected at Troy High School that you guys are going to be exceptional students as well as exceptional athletes.
Yeah, like they say, I mean, we're true student athletes over here. I mean, we take care of books and ball.
That's beautiful, right? I mean, that just makes it so much easier. Okay, you got some big decisions to make. Maybe you've already made some. What's your future look like?
So right now I'm committed to the University of Washington, but over the last few weeks I've picked up offers from Texas A&M, Oregon, and Alabama.
So something to think about?
Yeah, but I mean, I have a great situation going on at Washington right now. I love the coaches over there, so I'm blessed.
It'd be nice to wear that purple and gold, be a dog?
Absolutely.
What was it like on the visit up there? What kind of hooked you in?
Oh, it was beautiful. Montlake, I mean, it's awesome. It was an experience like no other. A lot of my friends are committed there, too, so I have great relationships with all the guys already and the coaching staff. I mean, they see me having an impact early, so that's something big for me.
So coaches talk about three phases of the game, right? Playing offense, playing defense, special teams. You get to play all three, right? What's it like to be able to contribute everywhere?
I mean, it's fun. I mean, I hate fourth down. I hate punting, but when we get out there, I make sure I do my best.
You guys don't punt much, do you?
We don't punt much. I've kicked 3 times this year, so that's a blessing.
Yeah. What's it like to be part of an offense that consistently puts up so many points on the board? And then not just this season. Every year, Troy plays in games where 40 points is the norm.
Yeah, I mean, we have too many weapons for guys to be able to try and double and triple team people. We have too many guys. Have dog running backs, other dog receivers. Our quarterback is legit. So, I mean, there's really no way to stop our offense.
All right, well, you guys are going to keep it going. I know that that first loss this season, that's a tough one. You guys are ready to turn the page and get a league championship, right?
Absolutely. We're going to bounce back and come back stronger than ever.
All right, good luck to you, Vander, and we're going to catch up with you wherever you end up. We think it's going to be Washington. Who knows? Maybe somewhere else, but looks like you're going to be a dog. Good luck, and we'll keep up with you.
Sounds good. Appreciate you.
All right, Vanderplug, he's ready to rock it the rest of the season and get a championship for these Troy Warriors. All right, Rich, back over to you, Coach, on the desk.
I knew the kid behind me says, he just winked at us, meaning Vander. Yeah, he did. That guy's cool, man. He's slick. He's in control. He's got a University of Washington, like you mentioned, good place for him, but I have a feeling there's going to be some bigger names calling, but we'll see. Like you said, his trips are done, and it's hard to argue with that campus up there. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
it's
awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, any big-time university like that, they've got so much to offer, and he knows he's in a very blessed position to get the opportunities that he's had, but he's also earned them.
Now, I got to get some clarification. Conti, we're supposed to finish up a couple more interviews before we got to this point, but I think we're just going to have to carry it. All right, so now these guys are going to eat chicken wings, all right?
No, I think we got Ethan Mutt coming.
Oh, Harry down. Harry came. Okay, I think they jumped the gun. That's what I was thinking. What are they doing setting up for the eating contest? So tell me about Munt.
Yeah, so Munt is actually only a junior for us. Started as a sophomore and ran for over 1,000 yards as a sophomore. Ended up being a first-team all-league football player for us on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And you will not meet a meeker, quieter kid than Ethan Munt. He's not a man of many words, but he is a man of action, and this young man plays football like a monster. And so we are blessed to have him. He's already, I think he's third in Orange County right now in rushing with 596 rushing yards on one of the least amounts of attempts in the county.
He's not even an outside runner. Like, he runs up the gut, he hits, and then ships off a block and gets going. You know, he's tough.
He likes to fight in phone booths, is what we call it.
Not
out in the open, but
yeah.
getting you a phone booth and fight you, and he does a great job with it.
I'm surprised he has, that many yards being a guy that runs between the tackles.
Yeah.
You know, normally those guys are running outside and they're gone. They get some space. They're going to get a 20, 30 at a clip. But very impressed with him. And we'll see how he does.
Yeah.
Bob, you ready? Bob Gibson. You're on, Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Take it away.
So we got maybe the top junior running back in Orange County right here. I think he's certainly in the running for it, Ethan Munt. Just a touch under 150 yards rushing per game. This is the part where you tell me you got the best offensive line in Orange County, right?
Yeah, I take him out to eat after every year I have, and I always appreciate the linemen.
The job they do for you, obviously, a lot of people don't talk about it. We talk about it here because we love to talk about linemen. But the consistency, right, of what the holes they're able to open for you and the job, because you can't do it without them.
No, I can't. My friend has been on the line forever, and I always like congratulating them and help. And I don't know, our line changed a lot from last year, and so it's good to see that we're bouncing back as usual.
What are your strongest attributes as a running back? Is your vision? Is it your balance, your speed? What are your best? What are the best parts about your game?
I think my best is my vision and balance. That's what I think. But yeah.
And obviously, it's a push in a game, right? You guys like to run the football, right? First and foremost, but you can throw the football too. It's nice when you have both aspects of that game going, right?
Yeah, it is. Because when Vander gets a big play, it leaves it open for me to get a big play. And if I get a big play, it leaves open for him, and it works pretty good.
So when you're calling a play in a huddle and you go to a pass play and they're keying on the run, you're like, this is going to go for something big, right?
Yeah, always.
Obviously the goal is to win a league championship first, right? And you guys have one more week in non-league before you get to that league. What would it mean to you to be able to do that and really compete and win a league championship?
It'll be pretty cool as it's our first year in a new league, and we still have our rival kind of with Sonora from our old league, and it'd be nice to beat them and win league champions.
Well, congratulations. You're having a great year. Keep it up, and we're going to be following Troy the rest of the year.
Thank you.
All right, Ethan Munt, man, he's going to get over that 150 yards a game. I know it's coming up right here.
Thanks, Bob. Good job. Appreciate it. Munt, man. What's his nickname on the team?
I don't know if he's got one, just Munt.
The Munt's good enough, right? That's why I'm asking. That's a good football name.
Oh, yeah, it's a great one. Yeah,
Take it.
He carries it all, man. That name. He's a bruiser. He's a pounder. He's a great kid.
Yes. Hey, tell me about Akali, your quarterback. He's coming up here in a second.
Yeah, so Rudy is now a 2-year starter for us. Last year as a junior, he broke multiple school records in the passing categories. Just a phenomenal football player and a great kid, great leader. He's really kind of taken Troy offense and Troy football to another level with his play and with his savvy. We don't get usually football players at Troy. We have to develop them. But Rudy came in having played the quarterback position for 10-plus years, and that is just showing, as he's really taken our offense to a next level, and we're as balanced as we've ever been. We've passed, I think, for nearly 900, rushed for 1,000, and that's in a primarily or by nuance or by design a run offense, but we've manipulated our offense to really accentuate his strength.
That sounds more like just a balanced attack to me.
Yeah.
If you got that kind of split between running and passing, that's pretty good.
Yep, absolutely. And he opens up our running game, and our running game opens up the pass game for him. And so he's been a great player for us, and we're excited to see the season continue.
Yep, we are too. All right, let's bring him on in.
Yep.
Rudy, let's switch off, and we're going to interview Rudy Akala now. Again, just having a phenomenal season. Started last year as well. Long-time quarterback. He's reaching Peyton Manning in yards in his career now. He's got about 80,000 thrown, right? Not in high school. I'm talking about since you started playing back in Junior All-American and all that.
Right.
This dude's been on the scene. So, Rudy, last week's game was incredible, man. Back and forth, man, high scoring. You gave the fans everything they can for. That's what all fans wish they could see every week.
Right.
Talk about that game real quick a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a great team play all around. Friday night the team came out and ready to play, and we just played our butts off, and unfortunately to come up with the win, but I'm really proud of the way everybody played for sure.
You're going for the win.
Oh, for sure.
Look at all the crazies, man. Talk about these loonies over here. You know who's going to be doing this? You can see them right there. Who are these guys?
Those dudes are some monsters. We got Angel, Kaiden, and Jacob.
Let's cut back to those guys real quick,
some
Larry.
Monsters.
Just cut back to the eaters. There we go. All right, who's the big guy in the middle? No, we're not ready. We just wanted to see the guys so Rudy could talk to him. Let's go back to the shot. Let's go back to the shot, Larry. There we go. All right. So the big man in the middle.
Right, Angel, Mr. Shank.
You putting your money on him? He
Oh,
looks
yeah,
like the
for
guy
sure.
that could probably inhale it all.
Oh yeah,
by
that's
himself.
my guy.
All right. Who's the guy on the right?
That's Jacob Santos.
Look at Jake. Hey, Jake.
Jacob's gonna be good.
Yeah, you think he's going to do all right?
Oh yeah, I think he'll be good.
I think the little dude on the left there is going to kill it though. You got those little
Kaiden's a
dudes
dog.
are tough.
Kaiden is a dog, so I think it's gonna be a good one for sure.
I mean, he might even reach over and grab somebody's other wing when he's done with his. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
maybe.
thinking right now. All right, so Rudy, let's talk about what's going on with Troy right now. You guys are 3-1.
Yes, sir.
You guys are putting points on the board every week, and your defense is pretty good. Pretty
sir.
solid. A couple times you left them to 13 points or something like that. That's
Yes, sir.
pretty good. That's really well. How would you describe your ball club? Your coach says you guys have pretty much a balanced attack from what I'm hearing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're super balanced on offense, especially. I think we could do basically anything we want. You know, just run the ball, pass the ball, literally anything we want. I mean, we have a great backfield with Ethan Munt. Pass game, receivers just are endless. So I think we're really, really good for sure.
How do you like, now that you're out of the Freeway League, how do you like keeping some of those guys as rivals? How do you like, having those early instead of late?
Yeah. I love playing Sonora week, I think, 1 of league.
Yeah, you still have them?
I love that. You know, it's just keep that kind of like the rivalry between that. You know, it's
You
close.
have to.
They're
You have
a
to.
city away, so.
Everybody in that league's your rival, though. Now, I mean,
course.
you can actually get a good, like I was telling Coach, you can probably get a good preseason out of it because they want to win.
Oh, of course.
They want to
Yeah.
beat you guys in particular because you're old stablemates.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Now, is it hard for you to play, like, you don't know who's in the conference? You don't know who you're going to play, do you?
No, not really. I mean, obviously we see the schedule, right? But I mean, we don't actually know the teams like that yet. This is our first year playing in the new league, so we're gonna see. It should be a lot of fun.
But it's not just the league. It's once you get out of league, because normally all you guys were playing for first, second, third, and everybody else stayed home. Well, I've seen some leagues take them all because they had 500 records and above. So.
Right. Yeah. I think it should be a lot of fun. You know, it's going to be interesting. And
the unknown.
Can't wait.
You guys are ready, though, man. You got a lot of experience throwing that ball. Stick around because we're going to talk about this here after they're done. All right, Elwood, go ahead. We're ready for the food contest.
Oh, man, thank you very much, Rich. I have Stephanie here. Stephanie, we're here with your fabulous chicken wing eating contest.
Yep.
Tell me what you do for Rock and Brews.
So I'm actually the newest general manager. I run this store, and I also run a Corona location. We welcome anybody who'd like to come in. You could ask for me and just let's say hi.
Hey, well, Stephanie, I know you're very busy back there. I thank you for your time. You have a good one. We're going to continue to go with our chicken wing eating contest. Good luck. Good luck. Now, I have 3 young men here. I'm going to pass you the mic. You introduce yourself. Pass it on.
I'm Jacob Santos. I'm Angel Shank. I'm Kaiden Ordonez.
Okay, fellas, this is my favorite part of the program here. We all love chicken, and especially myself. So right now we have 30 seconds to get to the gristle. And that means when I say go, you start. When I say stop, you're done. The winner, I do have a gift card straight from Rock and Brews. Are you guys ready? Ready? Go! All right, fellas. Let it do what it do. Uh-huh. Yes, sirree. They ain't messing around. They ate chicken before. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, you can't watch him eat his chicken. You got to eat your chicken, son. 15 seconds, y'all. 15 seconds. Here we go. Oh, man, you got to make sure you get to the gristle, and it's all gone. Hello. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Stop right there. All right. Y'all got y'all napkins, y'all paper towels. Y'all can wipe it down. Come on here, Marissa. This is my judge, y'all. Come on, mama. Get on over here and introduce yourself, girl. Come on here.
Hi, my name is Michelle Sabala, and I am here to be a judge of this contest.
Well, hello. You take the mic, and you let me know who's my winner.
I'm going to have to say Angel is the winner of this contest.
All right. Here we go. Once again, my winner, Angel. Give it up to all the contestants. Give it up to Angel. Back to you, Rich. Hello.
Thanks a lot, Elwood. Good job, guys. when these guys go back to school tomorrow, they're never going to live down wearing them chicken hats, are they?
Oh, no, for sure.
Man,
I think we're going
to
have a lot of fun with that.
The internet lives in infamy, lives forever.
Yeah.
And they'll be on there forever. You can go back and get them, man. Get some screenshots of them. All right, who do you got this week? Who's your opponent?
Bye week this week, and next week we
Okay.
have Segerstrom.
Oh, how do you like having a bye week in the middle of the season? We never got to enjoy that back in the day.
Yeah, you know, I think it for sure feels great, for sure. Having a bye week in the middle of the season especially, you know, kind of gives the guys a whole week to just rest. And
Yep.
Just,
And those that are banged up get a little bit better.
Exactly.
You know. So, all right. Well, you know, that's a good thing, man. So you have Segerstrom. What do you know about that? That's a fairly new school.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys been around forever.
Yeah, you know, Segerstrom, we just, I think, started playing them last year. They actually put up a pretty good fight against us last year, gave them some issues in the beginning, and, you know, they're a pretty good team, you know, respectable team, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it always is. And, of course, we know you want to win CIF this year. We know you want to go to state. I mean, that's everybody's goal. You know, that's obvious, right? That's what I'd be saying.
Of course.
But with this ball club, camaraderie seems to be really strong. I talk every kid I talk to so far just says, you know what, we all do like each other.
Yeah.
Even though we cap on each other a lot.
For sure.
Is that the strength of your team, do you think? Does that go a long way to making you cohesive like you are now? Because you guys are really, really clicking early.
Right. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it takes a big part in being a team, for sure, is actually having to know each other, right? Having to know one another as a person, and I think that's very important, especially playing football. It's a long season. It's not easy. It's hard. So I think for sure knowing the guy next to you, and it plays a big role for sure.
Did you spend a lot of time during the offseason with your receivers getting ready?
Oh, yeah. I had a whole lot of time, I think, every day during summer.
They bugging you at all to come out? Hey, man, let's go throw the ball around.
Yeah, you know, almost every day, you know, after practice, before practice, you know, we want to go throw routes and just get better. So,
you know, you think it's nothing when you're doing that, but, you know, when Dwight Clark and the 49ers finally beat Dallas, you know, that was something they were just messing around with, throwing at the end of the end zone to see if Dwight could catch it, how high he could throw it. They were just goofing.
Right.
And then it came into a game. Hey, Dwight, we're going to do that play we do after practice. So that stuff does come back to help out at some point. So, all right. Well, listen, I'd like to thank you once again for joining us, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You guys, it's always a joy having Troy come in the house. And right now we're going to throw it to Trey, man. You want to say anything on the way out?
Go Warriors.
All right. Good job, man. Hey, thanks a lot, Rudy.
Thank you.
Good luck, man. All right. We have Trey standing by. Trey, how you doing?
Hey, Rich, I'm doing well. This is Trey, Prep Sports Media, and I'll tell you one thing. You never know who you're going to meet out here at Rock and Brews. By my side, we got George Chavez, El Nino Dorado Chavez, Golden Boy Promotions boxer. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, man. Nice to see you guys.
Hey, man, tell me a couple things real quick. You're 12-0, right?
Yes, sir.
8 of them by knockout.
Correcto mundo.
You're the real deal.
I mean, I'm trying.
So tell us how that feel, man, for you to be undefeated and what goes through your mind as far as the process. Tell us a little bit about the process.
Yeah, man, it's just a real feeling. I mean, you're just a kid sometimes, you know. Obviously, it starts as a dream, but to be here today, living that dream, it's I mean, words I can't find the words to put it into description, but you know, to anybody out there that's a dreamer, I did it. You could do it too.
That's right. I know that's right, man. So you got a fight coming up. I know date 2, date coming up pending. You're going through training right now, correct?
Yes.
So how that going? How's camp going?
It's going great. I mean, you guys caught me slacking today. I had my little cheat meal of the week, but we're back on track tomorrow. So.
What is your cheat meal, man? What's the secret? Like, Tell me what's the recipe, man?
Burgers, wings, and a Coke.
Hey, you heard that? You heard that? That's the meal of champions. That's what it takes for everything to be undefeated. So your next fight coming up around December time, correct?
Yes, sir. It's gonna come up in December 14, live at the Toyota Arena.
All right. So where could folks tell everybody where they could tune into that fight, like locally and abroad, if they're unable to make it? Tell us where we could watch that fight.
Yeah. So on my Instagram, I keep people updated at official Chavez 619, but the fight will be televised live on the Zone Network. So, you know, if you guys want to tune in and watch the fight, it will be available for everybody.
All right, you heard it here. George Chavez out of Tijuana, coming out of San Diego as well. Keep a lookout for him. Rich, back to you guys.
All right, Trey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. And, again, here, man, we like to cover all sports, man. We got some young guys boxing, you know, and doing some MMA and all kinds of stuff. So we always welcome looking at those type of people. Joining us right now, of course, is Steve Calhoun from Armed and Dangerous. Steve Calhoun, of course, is a quarterback coach, wide receivers coach. I mean, this guy has you have a downline of famous guys, Jordan Love, just to name a few. And
absolutely,
it's really great to have you here, Steve, because you know a lot about what's going on here in Southern California with football. And one thing I was talking to Bob about earlier that I am just shocked this year is the way Mission Viejo has just risen to a whole new level. And I don't want to say it's overnight because I know Johnson does a good job over there, but just little by little you see them rising. But this year they took that leap.
They did.
And I don't know what it is. I mean, they took care of Liberty of Arizona. Now, Liberty's pretty good. One of the top 2 or 3 teams in Arizona.
Absolutely.
They, Basha, Chandler, there may be one more that I'm forgetting. But, they have some good football out there. But Mission went through them. They beat them by, 46 points? They shut them out, actually.
I think it's 46-0.
And then was it Santa Margarita, 35-7, was it? Yeah, Santa Margarita. I mean, what's going on?
Coaching. That's what it comes down to. Hey, Chad Johnson, all his experiences that he learned, under Jason Negro when he was at St. John Bosco, he's taken that same philosophy and the same scheme and just kind of molded it to his team. And now he's getting, it's the youth football in South Orange County that are really driving into Mission Viejo. They used to go to J. Sarah and they used to go to Tesoro, but now, since Mission's rolling, Chad Johnson got, the nationally ranked. They're getting a lot of that talent.
I'm just surprised. I think that the playoffs are going to be fun this year. Mission Viejo has to be in the open division the way I'm seeing it right now. If they're not, that'd be a shame.
Yeah, no.
They're going to be Division 2?
Yeah, no. They're good where they are. When you start to go up there and play in that open division, with the Mater Days and the Boscos and everybody else, the fact that they're able to recruit, they just have more horses and a lot more depth. So I think Mission Viejo's in a great spot where they are, and they have a good chance of running back-to-back.
Yeah, but it's the powers that be that make these decisions in terms of who's going to play where.
Yes.
Like you said, it's a 2-year thing, so they'll be probably, like you say, in Division 2 this year, finish out there. But I think seems like the year that they're just tearing apart people that normally they wouldn't be clobbering like that.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go sit with Coach Johnson this offseason, just talk some ball, and his schemes are unbelievable, and he really looks at his players and what they're great at and what they're not good at, and he just builds a formula and a blueprint for them to be successful. So he never puts any of his players at a disadvantage. He finds out what their strengths are, builds that game plan. His coaches execute it very, very well. They really coach the details, and that's why you can see the results that they're having this year.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I know when the other Johnson was there, I can't remember. Bob Johnson was there. They were doing pretty good, but Chad, he's taking it to a whole new level. I mean, he's outdone what Bob was good. Don't get me wrong. Bob Dunn was a great coach. You can't deny. But I think seeing them playing now and the way they're just dominating teams, and not just dominating teams in there. I'm talking about dominating good quality opponents. Like Mater Dei plays in the preseason. They play everybody.
Exactly. Yeah,
they play everybody.
When it comes down to Mission Viejo being that good, it's the O-line and the D-line. They got some studs up front. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Every good football team. If you got those guys up front, where they can rush the passer or they can block those pass rushers and they can move them off the ball, that's what it comes down to. It always starts in the trenches, and Mission Viejo starting to have that year in and year out.
And that's no lie. Watching Mater Dei play Corona Centennial and then watching them take the number 2 team in the nation on in Bishop Gorman, it really did seem like the line was the difference. Mater Dei's line was just so much bigger and stronger. And we're talking the number 2 team and the number 7 team in the nation. So we're not talking just some local public school team that's just got the neighborhood kids and these guys crush them. We're talking about other schools that are doing the same thing Mater Dei does.
Absolutely.
They get the premier athletes. They work them. They work them out, make them lift weights. I mean, they have plenty of great coaching, and they end up being the best in the country.
Exactly. No, it's just, there's so many private coaching now that those private schools have access to, and they're bringing coaches in like me to be able to come in and tutor their kids, and they just have the resources to get not only all the top kids but get them coached up at the highest level.
Yeah, and they're getting that, no question about it. You see a lot of pro athletes. When I start looking at some of the assistant coaches, I've seen pro names up and down the roster, and then I find out, well, I'm here to coach my kid.
There we go.
We know how that works, right?
Exactly.
So they're there to help with their kid. Look at Pat McAnally, the old punter for the Cincinnati Bengals and stuff like that. I mean, he's coaching too, So he's Calvary Chapel for a long time.
Absolutely.
So you have Penny over at John Glenn. I mean, they're out there. and they're trying to make things better. And again, if you could put your ego aside, and you've got some great assistant coaches out there that are ex-pros everywhere.
Absolutely.
Something else I wanted to ask you about, Steve, is the proliferation of Southern California football that is showing where now. Before it was just 2.
Yes.
Now we have 5 in a top 10, 3 in a top 10. So you can't deny that the SoCal teams are great, and it's not the teams you would think they were altogether.
Yes.
Mater Dei and Bosco, of course, but then you have Centennial still. But
Yes.
the only teams they lost to were, some of the best teams in the country without their 5-star quarterback Longstreet. What's going on over there? Do you know?
He's back.
He's back now?
He played last week.
That's why they scored 50-something points, right, or whatever it was.
Yep, the Texas A&M commit.
Yeah.
Longstreet. He's back. He's playing well. Got that offense. Coach Logan's offense rolling again. And they got so many athletes. From the running backs, and they got some really stud receivers like they do every year. The speed that they have on the outside, the running backs, again, O-line. They have O-line.
Yeah, they do. They have some
along
good
with the
kids out
skill
there.
set. Centennial's rolling again.
Yeah,
definitely.
When Centennial lost the game, and I kid you not, after it was over, I was standing there. I was on the Centennial sideline, and somebody shouted out, "Don't worry about it. We'll see you in November."
Exactly. They'll be back.
And you know what? It's true. They'll see him in November. I don't know how much of a difference Longstreet would have made in that game when they played Mater Dei. Probably would not have beaten Mater Dei, but they would have put a lot more points on the board, and Mater Dei would have to play a lot more honest than they did. They just loaded up.
The game that really kind of surprised me was the Santa Margarita Centennial game. And Santa Margarita absolutely dominated them. Longstreet didn't have a great day. I think he threw a couple of interceptions.
Yeah.
But they'll be back.
Well, yeah, but as you know, you're a quarterback. You're a quarterback. You're a quarterback coach. You can't go from having an injury and just stepping in right away. You're not going to be as sharp because you haven't been throwing the ball.
Exactly. You got to get your timing back with your receiver.
A little bit, yeah.
You just got to get back into a flow of it, and you got to really be able to trust that. Okay, am I back? I'm not sure. I don't know if it was an ankle or a knee, but okay, can I really put my foot in the ground and drive the ball and be athletic, like he can be?
What I like about the way the top teams in Southern California are going out across the country, they're bringing them here. They're going out there. It doesn't matter. St. John Bosco went out and played. Chaminade of Hollywood, Florida.
Yes.
They were trying to give them they were trying to give Chaminade the national title last year, but they did not leave Florida. You cannot be a national champion if you don't go out and play somebody in that top 10. They played one school, I think it was Central of Miami, and then they dropped out. They dropped off after that, so it wasn't really a great win for them. It wasn't a signature win. When you lose 2 or 3 more games, that the team you beat that puts you up there.
Yes.
But no, man, Bosco went out there and they won the game.
Absolutely.
It was close at the end, but it wasn't that close.
No, hey, Bosco, they never have any drop off from year to year to year.
They just don't.
I mean, the way the Jason Negro gets the players to come in year after year, they learn their system. The kids really buy into what they got going on. And that's why they play that national schedule. I mean, that's what kids are attracted to be able to play that national schedule. And they actually expose those kids to recruiters on the East Coast,
well,
the Southeast.
They're on ESPN every week. Not every school is, but I'm just saying that in the national top 10, they're showing those games every week when you have them playing each other.
Exactly.
And it's great to see. It's great to see. I was telling Coach Browner from Bishop Gorman that I know you played Mater Dei early, and probably not as ready as Mater Dei. And he goes, "No, man, we weren't. These guys are on a whole nother level. He's very respectful, very nice coach. He's a good coach too. He's got a national championship under his belt. By the way, he's defended national champion." I told him, Coach, you just have to work your way back in. That's all there is to it. You have a shot, but it's very thin if Mater Dei runs its head.
Exactly.
Let's face it.
Bishop Gorman, I don't think they're going to have too much of a challenge in the state of Nevada as far as trying to win a state championship. They just got way too many horses, and the fact that they play Mater Dei and all the other big teams, that just gets them ready for anybody that that's going to face them coming up this year.
He's having the same problem like Lara. Well, I don't think Lara would have had a problem getting another game had he been there from the end of football season. He would have got a 10th game. It would have been no problem for Lara to do it. He only has 9 this year. Because you have trouble finding teams, so that's why you have to be in the office, now trying to get a game against somebody across the country that's your size.
Absolutely.
And I just love seeing these games with the top athletes. Steve, again, the proliferation of the schools in the top 10. Why now? Why all of a sudden? What changed in the last 2 years?
You know what? That's a great question. I think maybe just the continuity of the coaching staff, okay? Older players, guys that are coming up through the program, guys that were freshmen and sophomores that maybe played a lot, and now they're juniors and seniors. I think that's usually the formula for having really, really good teams.
Yeah, it's just amazing, that you would have, 5 in the top 10, and when you lose one, another one comes up. You know, and the Trinity League, man, again, they're just amazing. Right now, if you look at the Orange County Register, they got 5 of the top 10, 5 of the top 6 teams are from the Trinity League.
Exactly.
Hard to argue.
There's some good players.
This game this week, who's got Sierra Canyon this week? I know we were talking about it.
Orange Lutheran?
Is it Orange Lutheran? I think it is. It's somebody from the Trinity League that's going to play them. I think it is Orange Lutheran. What do you think about that ball game? I mean, Sierra Canyon was an up-and-comer, but I did not believe, and I still don't believe they're quite on the level of the Trinity League. I just don't think so, even though everybody wants them to, and I don't blame them. You get tired of the same schools every year.
Right.
But the truth is what it is.
Hey, Orange Lutheran, they're rolling.
That's what it is.
Orange Lutheran rolling. You know, the one thing about Orange Lutheran, they got Austin Pettis to come and be their offensive coordinator, and he was at Santa Margarita last year.
Okay.
They got Josiah Hawkins, JoJo Hawkins, who was at Orange Lutheran. He just graduated from Princeton. He's back. He's the receiver coach now. So they're bringing back some familiar faces that are OLU guys, that are Lancers, and they can coach their positions up. But hey, I'm really, really happy for Austin Pettis. I had the opportunity to train him for the draft when he came out of Boise State, and he's done an unbelievable job over at Orange Lutheran, and you can see the success they're having.
Steve, at Armed and Dangerous, you coach quarterbacks and wide receivers. What goes on during now? What's going on now? Like, are you coaching people now? Do you just give encouragement? Do you get together on the weekends? What's going on now?
Absolutely. Well, I have a couple of different things I got going on. I'm doing some online coaching, where players have the opportunity to send me film, and I can help break their film down, help them from week to week, as far as understanding the defenses they're going to be facing, and some of the blitzes, some of the challenging blitzes they could be having. But also, I'm doing tune-up camps on the weekends. So I have 2 of them coming up, October 6th and October 20th. I do them every other weekend, and it's for quarterbacks from 8th grade to high school. And and there's a big flag football scene. So hey, I'm inviting all lady flag football quarterbacks to come out and get that work. Of course, coach the tackle football guys and the youth football guys. It's at Santa Ana Valley High School from 9 to 11, and it's October 6th and October 20th.
The landscape is changing. All right, Steve, we'll talk more about that next week. We got to get going right now. I'd like to thank Troy Heisfeld coming in tonight, Coach Chavez, Vanderplug,
behind us,
Rudy Alcala, the quarterback. I'd like to thank them all for coming in, and Munt. On behalf of Steve Calhoun, I'm Richard Stray. So long, everybody. Have a good week.